Premier League is back for yet another week. We have some amazing games like Manchester United versus Brighton and also Man City versus Aston Villa happening. As per usual in the video, we'll be going more in depth about the matches. So hopefully you enjoy the video. Let's get straight into it. Now Leeds United versus West Ham. So let's get started with Leeds United. It has not been going too well so far. They're actually sitting in 16th place at the moment in the league table. Now the last game was quite tough for them. They managed to lose 2-0 to Burnley, which is, I would say, a very surprising result. I did not expect Leeds to score any goals at all. Burnley were just more clinical with their shots. Now on to West Ham. It's been a horrible season for them so far, currently sitting in 19th place, which is quite horrid. Nuno Espirito Santo has come in and he has not had a good start so far to the season. Now last game they lost 2-0 to Brentford, and Nuno Espirito Santo, he is winless in his first 3 matches as West Ham manager. So I know Nuno Espirito Santo will turn it around. He's the type of manager to just turn stuff around. Now my prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw between the two. Moving on to Chelsea versus Sunderland. This game should be very interesting. So let's get started with Chelsea. I mean, they're doing quite decent, you could say, but currently they're sitting in 5th place in the league. Their form as of recent has been getting better. Last game they played Nottingham Forest and they won 3-0. Absolute domination in that game from Chelsea. Reece James has been very good ever since coming back from his injury as well. Onto Sunderland. They're doing actually pretty well, I would say, for a newly promoted team. Currently, they're at the 7th spot in the league. Like last game, they played Wolves and they won 2-0. Nordi Mukiele bagging a goal, and he's been a very important signing for that team. But I believe Xhaka has been such a strong influence, and he has had an incredible influence on the squad as well. This team, I know for a fact, is going to be very underrated. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Chelsea. Moving on to Newcastle versus Fulham. This game, it's going to be quite a tight one in my opinion. So let's get started with Newcastle. I would say it's been a alright season for them, sitting in 14th place, which is a huge surprise, but it's got to do with so many teams being quality in this season. Last game they played Brighton and they lost 2-1. Woltmead has been a fantastic signing for Newcastle. His goal was unbelievable in their last game against Brighton. Behind the leg flick into the goal, just the catalog of goals he already has at Newcastle is outrageous. Onto Fulham, they have been not too bad this season, currently sitting in 15th place in the league, which is something considering they're usually in the mid table. Now last game they played Arsenal and they lost 1-0. The loss coming from a set piece, which I would say that's a little bit of a rough way to lose a game, but what can you do? That's the score. But Fulham did struggle in terms of shots on target. They only had 1 on target. They had loads of chances created, they just did not capitalize on those chances and get goals from them. Now my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Fulham. Moving on to Manchester United versus Brighton. This game is going to be super good, so let's get started with Manchester United. They've been doing quite decent this season. Actually, at the moment they're sat in 9th place, which I would say is pretty good considering where they have been last season. Now last game they played Liverpool and they won that game 2-1, which is a massive win, all thanks to Bruno and a Maguire winner. I mean, Lamens is looking very good in that keeper position. He made multiple saves against Liverpool, and Mbeumo scoring early on against Liverpool, and that really helped them with the win. So maybe things are turning around slowly here at Manchester United. Onto Brighton, they are doing quite alright this season form wise. As of right now, it has been quite good, winning their last game 2-1 against Newcastle, which is a pretty solid win, I would say, extending their amazing form. Now the talent in this squad is quite amazing, for being honest. They have the likes of Baleba, Mitoma, Karioglu, as well. As usual, I always say this team just plays some very attractive football. Now my prediction is going to be a 3-2 win for Manchester United. Moving on to Brentford versus Liverpool. This game could surprise us, I'm not going to lie. So let's get started with Brentford. They're doing quite alright in the league, sitting in 13th place, which is quite decent. Form-wise, they have been on and off. Like last game they played West Ham and they won 2-0. Igor Thiago getting on the score sheet again. What a incredible signing he has been for Brentford. So far he has already played 7 matches and he has 5 goals already. Incredible output, I would say. For a new signing especially, that's pretty good. Now on to Liverpool. They have been doing not the best this season. The new signings have shifted the dynamic on the pitch and they seem to be struggling recently in terms of form as well. Still sitting in 3rd place in the league, but they lost 4 in a row in all competitions. Now Isak is yet to score a single goal for Liverpool still. Salah has been a shadow of himself as well from last season. He's been very poor. But last game they also lost to Manchester United 2-1, which is crazy. My prediction for this game is going to be a 2-2 draw between the two. I could see Liverpool falling once again. Moving on to Wolves versus Burnley. This could end up being very tight. So let's get started with Wolves. They're doing quite horribly, I would say, this season, sitting absolutely dead last in the league in 20th place. I mean, that's very disappointing if we're being honest, considering how they were playing last season. Not a single win on the board for them yet this season. Hopefully it does come soon. I rate this team, but unfortunately they're not getting the results, not playing too well based off that. But last game they played Sunderland and they lost 2-0 to them. I would say defensively they seem so open and are conceding quite a bit, so that does need fixing from the manager tactics wise as well. Onto Burnley, they have been not too good as well. They have started the season okay, I would say. I thought they would be very strong defensively in the Premier League, but they have conceded 15 goals in 8 matches, which is, I would say, quite high. Sitting just above the relegation zone in 17th place. A positive is also that they did win 2-0 against the Leeds last game, but taking that win, they could take it into this match against Wolves, and I'm confident that Burnley will win this game. And I have the prediction as 2-0 Burnley. Moving on to Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. There's going to be a challenge for Arsenal. So let's get started with Arsenal. They've been quite strong this season, being very strong defensively, conceding 3 goals in 8 matches. So could they beat Chelsea's record of conceding 15 goals or less in a season? Let me know in the comments down below. Now attacking wise, I would say we're doing pretty well. We just need Gyökeres to start firing goals. He's getting chances, but he's not really putting them into the net. I mean, the positions he's getting the ball is a little bit tough to get the ball into the net, but hopefully eventually we see him firing away. Now last game Arsenal beat Fulham 1-0 through a set-piece goal. At the moment Arsenal are 3 points clear at the top, and we gotta continue the results surely if we want to win something, hopefully the Premier League this season. So we need to continue on in this form. Onto Crystal Palace. This is a very strong and underrated team this season, sitting in 8th place at the moment, which is very solid. Form wise it has been quite good though. Like last game they played Bournemouth and they drew 3-3, very high scoring game. Mateta has been firing at a crazy rate this season. This season he has 8 matches played and 5 goals scored so far, and he bagged a hat-trick in that Bournemouth game, so he's been unbelievable these past few months. And Munoz has been a very key player as well, with his cutbacks, just very attacking fullback at times, and with his cutbacks across to Mateta, those were very key in that Bournemouth game. Now my prediction is going to be a 3-2 win for Arsenal. Moving on to Aston Villa versus Man City. This game's going to be super strong, so let's get started with Aston Villa. They started the season quite horribly, but they managed to turn it around. They are sitting in 11th place, which is good. Last game they played Tottenham and they beat them 2-1. Morgan Brendan Rodgers scored a absolute banger. He has been very key in the team, but when Dia came on as well, he banged the winner, just cut inside on his left foot, whipped it into the far left bottom corner. He basically won the game for them right there. So slowly, Aston Villa are getting better and better every game, because they were disastrous a few games ago, sitting in the relegation zone. Onto Man City, they have been quite good so far, sitting in second at the moment in the league. Form-wise, it's actually been very good as well for them. They are the highest scoring team with 16 goals at the moment. A lot of those goals have come from Haaland. He's actually been unreal already this season. 8 matches played from him, 11 goals scored and 1 assist. Last game they played Everton and they won 2-0, all thanks to a Haaland brace. Now my prediction for this game is going to be a 3-1 win for Man City. Moving on to Bournemouth versus Nottingham Forest. This game should be quite the solid one. So let's get started with Bournemouth. They have been very good so far this season, considered, I would say, one of the most underrated teams in the league at the moment, especially since they are sat in 3rd in the league right now. Last game they played Crystal Palace and they drew 3-3. That match was quite the crazy one. Eli Jr. Krupi banging 2 goals for them as well. And I gotta say, Semenyo has been such an unbelievable player for them this season. The power he has running at defenders, even in behind, the pace, physicality, he's just the most complete winger at the moment in the Premier League. Now on to Nottingham Forest. It is not looking very good for them at the moment. The results have been horrible, sitting in 18th place in the league at the moment. Last game they played Chelsea and they lost 3-0, which led Ange Postecoglou to get sacked straight after the game. So they have now appointed Sean Dyche, going back to the defensive setup. So my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Bournemouth. Moving on into the last game, Everton versus Tottenham. This is going to be one of the underrated matches right here. So let's get started with Everton. They're doing not too bad this season. Like, results as of recent, they've been quite alright, I would say, which has them sitting in 12th place at the moment. But last game they played Man City, which is a tough team to play against, and they lost 2-0, which is obviously a rough result, but what can you do? Man City are a very, very good squad. But I believe Everton have a very well balanced team, so they could potentially get something again against Tottenham here for sure. Now on to Tottenham. They've been doing alright this season, currently sitting in 6th place, which is, I would say, okay. Last game they played Aston Villa and they lost 2-1, which is very rough. Spurs had the chances, they just could not take them. I gotta say, Kudus brings so much energy on that right side for Tottenham. A lot of the attacks are flowing through his side as well, and they have the opportunity to turn their form around here against Everton. So my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Tottenham. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below your predictions for these games, and don't forget to subscribe as well. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.